today, I just learned from one of our yoga teachers, Jess Becker. She said that she had taken a class from someone in India, and they said that there's a holiday, or they just had a holiday where Hanuman was celebrated. So I felt compelled to chant a salutation to Hanuman, the monkey god, Kapila, who had great strides, and he was able to leap from the south of India into Sri Lanka. And did he carry Sita over to something? Or you know me, I'm so good at butchering these stories. But anyway, it was Sita and Rama, and something bad happened, and Hanuman made it better. And it involved him leaping from India to Sri Lanka. Hello, Caitlin. Nice to see you. Do we have any takers for the invocation? So Elizabeth, would you please do the first two verses?
Okay.
And so then we have, I don't have anything. Shuklam Baradharam Vishnu. Then we have Jnanananda Mayandevam and so would someone like to take those two verses or one of them? Patty, do you want to take one or two?
I can do both unless somebody feels the call.
Okay. Okay. And then would someone like to chant the Guru Stotram? Guru Bhyascha. Jennifer, thank you. Good. And then after that, we have the salutation to Krishna Macharya. Would anyone like to have a go at that? Caitlin, brava, good. You do that one. Oh, wonderful. And then for Desikachar, would someone like to chant to Desikachar? Elizabeth, would you like to?
Sure, I'll chant to Desikachar.
Okay. And then who would like to chant Sahana Vavatu?
I can do that, Leslie.
Wonderful, Lisa. Okay, great. Looks like I get to listen.
Okay.
Whenever you are ready.
Shuklam Baradaram Vishnum Shashivarnan Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanantyayet Sarva Vigno Pashantaye Yasya Dviradavakradhyaha Parishadyah Parashatam Vignanig-nanti Satatam Vishvaksenantamashraye
Jnananandamayam devam nirmalaspatika kritim adharam sarvavidyanam hayagrivamupassmahe pundarika sanasinam Pandura Brendusannipam Akantapota Janakam Hayagrivamupassmahe.
Gurubhyastan Gurubhyascha Namo Vakamadhimahe Vrinimahe chatadradyo dhampati jagatam pati.
Shri Krishna Vagishayatishvarabhyam Samprapta Chakrankana Bhashyasaram Shri Narendra Yattau Samarpitasvam Shri Krishna Maryam Guruvaryamide Virodhe Kartike Mase Satatara Kritodayam Yogacharyam Krishna Maryam Guruvaryamaham Bhaje.
Shihyakang Krishna Maryasya Natavam Shapradipakam Kalyana Gunarupantam Shri Deshikam Namamyaham Prashanta Purushakaram Viniyoga Pracharakam Vishesha Vaidikam Surim Tandeshikam Smaramyaham Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bunaktu Sahaviyam Karvaharvahai Tejas Vinavaditamastu Ma Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, everyone. This has a nice flow to it, doesn't it? With everyone chiming in good time. Take that, the Hanuman thing. So I love Krishna Das. Who doesn't love Krishna Das? However, my problem whenever I go to his concerts or I listen to his CDs is Mr. Iyengar commented on his chanting. Mr. Iyengar came, the last time he came to the United States was to celebrate his book, Light on Life. And we had a big gathering that Yoga Journal sponsored at Estes Park in Colorado. And Krishna Das was there and he gave a concert. And you know how beautiful his concerts are, and his chanting is so devotional. And apparently BKS Iyengar enjoyed Krishna Das's performance very, very much. However, apparently he is said to have said to someone, I think Patricia Walden or someone, Mr. Iyengar said, well, his pronunciation is lacking, but his devotion is so great. So, and the other, so who cares when one has chanted so many decades with such devotion, with such a resonant, beautiful voice, and so much coming from deep within his heart, pronunciation is, a moot point. However, it's also, I think, I'm not sure that it's really in Sanskrit. I think it's in Hindi. So I never studied Hindi. So I would always try to Sanskritize the Hindi. So I would finally just give up and listen and enjoy. But it was hard to chant along with him. I was practicing this morning, and of course now his melody has gone out of my head. So let's just see what we can make of these two lines. It comes from this CD called Kirtan Wala. It's one of his later CDs, maybe not his latest, but he has some. He provides different melodies. It was just happened to be the one CD that I could find. So these two lines are from the fifth, the fifth track. And it's Om Namo Bhagavate Pavamanandamaya. Pavamanandanaya. Pavamanandanaya. I bow to the divine son of the wind. Pavamana is a word for wind. Om Namo Bhagavate Anjaninandaya. Anjaninandanaya. You can see I have a hard time with this. Om Namo Bhagavate Anjaninandanaya, the son of Anjani. So Nandanaya, Aya means to, that person. Nandana. Also, there's the term ananda, bliss, in that. So the joy of one's son. So he is the joy of the wind, who is his parent, and he is the joy of Anjani, who is also his parent. So I'm just going to chant something, and let's see if we can all do it. And the idea is to pay our respects to Hanuman today. Om Namo Bhagavate Pavamanandanaya. Let's just chant that line a few times. Om Namo Bhagavate Pavamanandanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Pavamanandanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Pavamanandanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Pavamanandanaya. Twice more. Om Namo Bhagavate Pavamanandanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Pavamanandanaya. Then, Om Namo Bhagavate Anjani Nandanaya. 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 So here's an idea. Let's chant it twice, all the way through, just those 2 lines twice through, softly. Then we'll chant them twice through more loudly, and then we'll chant them a 5th and 6th time softly again. Let's just see if that produces some worthwhile feeling. Om Namo, sorry, I'll make it softer. Om Namo Bhagavate Pavamanandanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Anjani Nandanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Pavamanandanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Anjani Nandanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Pavamanandanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Anjani Nandanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Pavamanandanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Anjani Nandanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Pavamanandanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Anjani Nandanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Pavamanandanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Anjani Nandanaya. Om. Any comments? We're all spellbound. Okay.
I think there
Those-
was a feeling of really devotional quality to it when we were especially chanting softly.
Yeah, yeah, in our heart. It's a familiar tune, that tune. That's what Krishna Das uses a lot. But it wasn't what was on this CD, but it just went out of my head. So, we'll do it again sometime. Now, Sandra has to leave early. So she had a request to review a little bit of the Nirvana Shatkam, the Song of Nirvana, which is on page 91, also called Song of the Soul in your book. And we won't spend too long time on it because I wanted to do some other things. There was also a request to do some healing chants for people who are ill and need to feel better. So I thought we would, after this one, we would go through Laghunyasa. And Elizabeth, I didn't have a chance to ask you earlier, but do you feel well seated enough in Laghunyasa that maybe you and I could alternate verses so everybody can just hear how it flows, and we won't, even if we mess up, we'll just keep going?
I think that'll be fine. Actually, I was just working on it just before class, so I feel, yeah, I feel pretty good about it.
Good, you read my mind. Excellent. Yes, this class will do well with mind reading for this session. So the way I learned it, Sandra, just to hopefully help you feel more at ease when you're sharing this with your students, if you just start by saying it, and I think let's do that. We'll say it. It is the long and short vowels, and it's the compound consonants at the end of a syllable that make the rhythm. And then if you just wanted to put a monotone to it, that would be fine. And sometimes a melody will just creep in. I think that's what happens often. So if we were to just say it first, it would sound like this. Mano buddhyahankara chittaninaham. Now it doesn't sound terribly, anything, but Mano buddhyahankara chittaninaham. Nacha shrotra jihve, nacha grana netre, nacha vyoma bhunir, natejo navayuhu, chidananda rupaha, shivoham, shivoham. And now I'm going to see if I can just make it totally monotone and see what happens. Om Mano buddhyahankara chittaninaham nacha shrotra jihve nacha grana netre nacha vyoma bhumir natejo navayuhu chidananda rupaha shivoham shivoham. I consciously let a little deviation, a little bit of melody, if you will, creep in there. So then if I try to copy the way I remember Vyas Houston does it, Mano buddhyahankara chittaninaham. We'll repeat that line. Mano buddhyahankara chittaninaham nacha shrotra jihve nacha grana netre. Repeat that line. Nacha shrotra jihve nacha grana netre nacha vyoma bhumir natejo navayuhu nacha vyoma bhumir natejo navayuhu chidananda rupaha shivoham shivoham chidananda rupaha shivoham shivoham. So anyone, but especially Sandra first, is that helpful? Okay. Would you like to chant it for us, Sandra?
I'll give it a try.
Okay. And it doesn't have to be that, well, we just worked on this verse, but if you have a favorite one, we could go to that one.
It's one of those, I don't know what comes into my head.
Ah, yeah. So just focus on the rhythm, which is the pronunciation. And give us an om, give yourself an om to establish your location in pitch, and then go.
Okay. All right. Om Mano Buddhyankara Chitani Naham Nacha Shrotra Jive Nacha Grana Netre Nacha Vyomi Vyoma Pumir Natejo Navayu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. See, I already lost it. I can do the last line.
Yes, you did. Yeah. And in the end, the main thing is, see, if you want to share it with others, it's good to be clear on a melody. It doesn't have to be what I
Right,
taught, but so that's the
exactly.
hard part. But otherwise, just share it with them by saying it. But why don't you do this? Do the chant again. Just chant it again and see what comes out.
Om Mano Buddhyankara Chitani Naham Nachasrotra Jive Nachagrana Netre Nachavyoma Bhumir Natejo Navayu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham.
Okay, how did
That
that
was
feel?
yet a different rhythm.
Yeah, actually, the rhythm was right. There's just a pronunciation thing in the very top line. I think you left out a sound in buddhyahankara. So it's buddhi ahankara. So mano buddhyahankara. Try that.
Mano Buddhyahankara. I
Yes.
didn't get it. Can you do it again?
Yeah, but you got the pronunciation. So we'll do the whole verse again.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Mano buddhyahankara chittani naham nacha shrotra jihve nacha grana netre nacha vyoma bhumir natejo navayuhu chidanandarupaha shivoham shivoham. So my apologies, my throat is dry. I had to go into my head register. Would anyone else like to chant this? Or do you have any questions on this? Sandra, is this good enough for now? Okay. All right. It's a beautiful.
Thank you very much.
You're so welcome. It's worth working on, isn't it? And there,
It's so beautiful that I hate to massacre it.
you know, you might try just saying it like a poem. Mano buddhi ahankara chittani naham na cha shrotra jihve na cha grana netre na cha vyoma bhumir na tejo na vayuhu chidananda rupaha shivoham shivoham. And then maybe when you say it, the meaning comes right in for you. It's good to understand the meaning when we do these, even though we can focus on the sounds.
Right.
So just play with it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will. Thank you.
Laghunyasa. Elizabeth and I have learned it from Elizabeth learned it directly from Desikachar, and I learned it from Sonia and Deborah, and so it's in Krishnamacharya's lineage. And Jennifer, you know this one. I think we worked on this the last time when you were with us. Did we not? Can't remember. I think we did. Actually, Jennifer, do you know it? I mean, do you know it to chant?
I did with you. I'm can't a little of it, but it was my first introduction.
Oh, okay. Then
Can you hear me?
yes, now I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you all hear me?
I can hear you. Sorry, it says my internet is unstable. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was mine or yours because mine gets unstable too. Don't we love Zoom? Okay, so Elizabeth and I are just going to alternate verses. Elizabeth, would you feel like starting or do you want me to start?
You start.
Okay. Om Agnirme Vachi Shritaha Vagridaye Hridayamayi Aham Amrite Amritam Brahmani
Vayorme prane shritaha prano hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani
Suryo me chakshushi shritaha chakshur hridaye hridayamayi aham amrite amritam brahmani
Chandrama me manasi shritaha mano hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani
Disho me shrotre shritaha shrotra gung hridaye hridayamayi aham amrite amritam brahmani
apo me retasi shritaha reto hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite Amritam Brahmani.
Prithvi me sharire shrita shariragam hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani.
Oshadi vanaspatayo melo masu shritaha lomani hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani.
Indro me bale shritaha balagum hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani.
Arjanyo me murdni shritaha murdha hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani.
Ishano me manyau shritaha manyur hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani.
Atmama atmani shritaha atma hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani.
Punarma atma punarayuragat punah prana punarakutamagaat Vaishvanaro Rashmi Bhirvavridhana.
Antastishtatvam ritasya gopaha.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Leslie.
So now, is there anyone who would like to pick a verse and chant it for us or work on it out loud with us? And this is, by the way, a verse like I copied this right out of the Mantra Valli, as you can see, Jennifer. I just redid it. And I thought for teaching it would be easier, and especially on Zoom, it would be easier to number each of the verses. That's my doing, just so I can say, okay, let's go to number 5 and we can all go there. So it's different from in the book.
Can we work on verse number 13? I
Yeah.
haven't learned that one before.
Okay. Sure. Thank you, Caitlin. Yeah, so it's right. It's the last verse before the end line. Om. So Om always establishes the middle. Okay. Om. Punarma Atma Punarayuragat. So that's so again, Om Punarma Atma Punarayuragat. Now, for those of you who are just beginning to be able to untangle the pitch signs from the pronunciation signs, are you hearing it? Like, are your ears Is what you hear matching what you're seeing? That's good. Thank you, Caitlin. And how about you, Lisa? Because that I know this was it's starting to match. That's good. Okay. So let's start at the beginning. I'll see if we can go through all 3 lines. I'll do it slowly. Actually, we'll just do it each line twice. Om Punarma Atma Punarayuragat. Om Punarma Atma Punarayuragat. Punah Prana. So we'll just do that again. Punah Prana. Punarakutamagat. Punarakutamagat. So we'll do both those 2 lines divided by the danda together. Om Punah Prana Punarakutamagat. Punah Prana Punarakutamagat. Vaishvanaro. So that's going to follow Punaragutamagata. So I'll start with Punarakut and then go right into Vaishva. So you can hear the pitch change. Punarakutamagat. Vaishvanaro. So notice we were taught there's no sign visibly telling us to do va, but this is what we were taught. So sometimes when we have 3 low notes at a time, and it usually happens towards the end, not always, there's a da 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 da, so it even goes lower in the da. Vaishva, Vaishvanaro. So we'll take that from Punarakut. Punarakutamagat. Vaishvanaro. Rashmi Bhirva Vridhanaha. So from Vaishvanaro, Vaishvanaro, Rashmi Bhirva Vridhanaha. One more time. Vaishvanaro, Rashmi Bhirva Vridhanaha. And then Antastishtatvamritasya gopaha. Interesting the way it's ended. It's almost intended to be, perhaps delicate. Nobody mentioned that before. And Elizabeth, just, crash a rock on my head if I'm going out of bounds here. And Jennifer too. But it just sometimes the indicated sounds inform us about whether to make it kind of laghu, light, or guru, heavy. And it sounds to me, and this is Laghunyasa, a chant about lightness. Antastishtat. So notice, so antas, so there's a lot of dental sounds. Antastish, and then and then the ta. Antastishtatva. Antastishtatvamritasya gopaha. It's really such fun to focus totally on each sound. And then, of course, they do it fast. I don't know how they do it fast, but they do. But we're going to take it slow. That last line, just see how much you can enjoy pulling out all of these sounds from the mouth positions. Om Antastishtatvamritasya gopaha. Then you can make it definitive at the end. Gopaha. There is a declarativeness or an assertiveness there. Go is strong and it's a low note. Gopaha. Then we open our mouths and open our throats for the last vowel. Gopaha. And then we really pronounce, we just give it that punctuation, I guess I want to say. One more time, we'll pick up the pace. Number 14. Om Antastishtatvamritasya gopaha. Who would like to chant that last number 14 line out loud? Patty, here we go.
Can I do 13 and 14? Because I've been practicing them. So
Well, okay then.
I want my teacher to hear my hard work and homework
Teach us something, will you?
from Spotify. Okay. Om.
Wait. I forgot. Caitlin, I apologize. You can do it after Patty if you like. Okay, so I didn't mean to jump over you. Okay, now it's Patty's turn and I will shut up.
Om Punarmatma Punarayuragata Punah Prana Punarakutamagata Vaishvanaro Rashmipirva Vridhanaha Antashtishtvatamritasya gopaha.
Very nice rhythm now, but the rhythm is going to come better if you allow yourself the time to take the time on the long vowels. So, so Patty, again, so listen to just the top line in verse 13. Listen once and then you do it again. Punarma ah. So now one rule of chanting is when we have two vowels close together, a word ending in a vowel, and then the next word starting with a vowel, there has to be a pause, no sound in between. And we have to take care not to rush. So it's Punarma Atma Punarayuragat. So now when you do it, Patty, I want you to exaggerate the long ahs, exaggerate, even if it's a little too long. For you, that would be a good exercise, maybe.
Om Punarma. All right, let me start over. Punarma Atma Punarayuragata. Even Elizabeth liked it, so I feel.
All right, yeah, brava, you got it, girl. So now do it one more time of the whole thing and exaggerate all the long ahs. And then, and let's see, in tat. So one is a dental sta, and then the next one is shta. So shta. So make sure you do the dental one first and then the shta, and make sure that they are distinct. Yeah, chanting in Vedic chanting is an exercise in distinction, isn't it? I don't know the word, I don't know. I don't know. It calls to our anal retentiveness, perhaps. Okay, go girl.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna interrupt. Let Om be the middle note. Om, Om, Pu. But if you start Om, then you have to go Punarma Atma. And I bet you can't go that low. Well, you can, but you may not want to.
Oh. Punarma Atma Punara Yuragata Punaf Prana Punara Kutamagata Vaishvanaro Rashmipirvavridhanaha Antashtishtvatamritasya Gopaha.
Do the last line again.
Antastishtattvamritasya Gopaha.
Brava. Yes. Yeah. So it's nice when we know we can take our time. Those long vowels and those compound consonants and the space between words when the end is a vowel and then the beginning is a vowel, they really are almost like, rest places. I mean, it's nice to be able to take our time. Well done. Caitlin, would you like to show us how, teach us how?
I'll try. This is the first time, though, that I've learned this.
I know, you're doing great.
Om Punarma Punarma Atma Punarayura. Sorry, I'm going to start over. Om Punarma Atma Punarayuragata Punah Pranaha Punaraskaur Punarakutmanagat Vaishvanaro Rashmibhirvavridhanaha Antastishtatvamritasya Gopaha.
Very nice. So as Patty's challenge was, getting, allowing herself to make the long syllables long, your challenge seems to be feeling comfortable with the svara. And it sounds to me like it's a matter of what your eyes are seeing, just getting used to the pitch marks and stuff like that. I think it's the svara that is a challenge right now, but that was quite beautiful. And what will help, what I heard consistently in the beginning was, I think it was this, listen to the melody. I think you went down when it should have been in the middle, and that began to throw you off. Punarma Atma Punara Punarma. Yeah, you went down on ma. Punarma. So it's Punarma Punarma Atma Punarayuragat. Would you like to try chanting it one more time, the whole thing?
Mhm.
Okay.
Punarma Atma Punarayuragat Punah Pranaha Punarakutma Kutama Kutamaga Vaishvanaro Rashmibhirvavridhanaha Antas Antastishtatva Gopaha.
Very nice. For the first time having heard it, that's really wonderful. It's really, really, really good. And it's coming. It's so amazing. You know, I know I said this before, but as beginners learning this, it took us all a long time. And there's so many verses. But that was great. And you nailed that first line. That was wonderful, Caitlin. Lovely
Leslie,
voice.
can you talk a little bit about what those two verses mean, like the translation?
Punarma Atma. Punaha, punaha, punarma. Puna, I think, often means again, again and again. And the self, Atma is the self. And then again, the breath. Puna, prana, punarakutamagat. And now I have no idea what that means. Jennifer, are you familiar with this at all? Do you have, and Elizabeth, okay, then Elizabeth, do you remember the meaning of these? So we've got breath.
Right. I think I'd have to look it up. I have it someplace. I have a meaning written down.
Okay, and Vaishvanaro, that has to do with the whole universe. Vaishvanara. And also, and Rashmi, Rashmi is one of those words I always forget. I think it either means the sun or a heap. I can't remember. Rashmi bhi, or it means something else completely. Vridhanaha. So thanks to Elizabeth, we will get back to you on the meaning. But it all has to do with acknowledging and paying respect to the relationship between ourselves, every body part in us, every aspect of us, and how that pertains to the world around us, and how we all, we all need nourishment, and Mother Earth needs nourishment. And as we worked on the earlier verses so much, we're talking about the fire helping us with our voice and our speech, and the wind and the wind and the air helping our breath, the sun helping us with our sight, the moon helping us with our mental stability, the direction helping us with our hearing, and the water with really the reproductive fluidity, and then the earth having to do with the whole earth having to do with our bodies, and the plants and everything that grows from the roots in the ground, like the hair on our body. And Indro me bale shritaha, the Indro, the Lord, who is also the Lord of the lightning, giving us strength. Indra is the source of our strength. And Parajanyo me muradni, that has to do with our heads, the head. And Isha no me manyao shritaha, manyu, thinking, Isha, God, thinking. And the self, the divine self, and how the divine self relates to our individual selves.
Leslie, I found one translation I have, and it goes that last section. Well, it starts with, we look at Atma, self which goes out, return and stay with me.
Oh, beautiful.
Life force which goes out, return and stay within me. May the fire and sun grow. May consciousness return and stay within me. May I be fully supported. That which is within me, stay within, and may I be protected.
That's so beautiful. I wonder if we could share that with the group, do that over during the week or something, and
Yep.
that would be really nice.
I can send it out to you and Patty, and then that could go out to the group.
Could you just repeat that thing about the life force? That's so, so amazing.
Life force which goes out, return and stay within me. May the fire and sun grow. May consciousness return and stay within me. May I be fully supported. That which is within me, stay within, and may I be protected.
Who would not want to chant this chant?
I think it's magical, this chant. I think it has real powers.
Would anyone else like to chant a verse or any part of this at all? Well, for maybe perhaps a more vital request for restoration to good health, the Maha mrtyunjaya is always a safe bet. Jennifer, is there a way that you chant it? Because we learned it a certain way from Sonia through from Desikachar through Sonia, and I'm familiar with it, and I know it, but I'm not. It's not the one I practice. I practice one that Shubraji does, and I was wondering if in your training you did it a certain way, or if you know this chant.
I do. I can chant it.
That would be
Like-
wonderful. Would that be all right with everyone, Jennifer? Please do. Yeah, that'd be great.
Sure. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhem pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva bandhanad mrityurmukshiyamamritat.
That's beautiful, and it's a way I've never heard before. Yet another way. It sounds simple. Would you mind teaching it to us?
Sure. Would you like me to just do it section by section? Or,
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. Should I repeat or just keep going?
Yeah, give us time to repeat. Yeah, so repeat it softly so that we can
Okay.
chant with you. Yeah, so we'll start over.
Okay. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtivardhanam
Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Bandhanan Mrityor Mrityor Mukshiya Mukshiya Amritat Amritat
Thank you. Now, would you chant it slowly and we'll see if we can chant with you. How is everybody doing? Are you ready to chant it with Jennifer, just to see if you do it slowly enough?
Okay,
I mean, that was a nice pace, actually.
okay. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityurmukshiyamamritat.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. I wasn't planning on asking you to do this, but it just sort of came out because I think it's partly because we learned it a certain way. And I already confessed to the group that I didn't particularly care for it. And then I learned it through Shubraji. I will share one thing that Shubraji has pointed out. And I had learned this also from people at the Ananda ashram. It's an interesting thing in the very beginning. Triyambakan yajamahe, Triyambakan. Even though there's a t and a r and a ya, where Shubraji pointed out that it's important not to make that two different syllables. It should be only one. But if we do it the way you did it, then there's a melody that allows that. So Shubraji would teach it this way. Triyam, Triyambakam. It's very hard to do it all in one syllable. So it's nice if we're going to make it a separate syllable to have that extra note there. Triyam, Triyambakam. But she does point out that it should be Triyambakan. And then Sonia's way is, or Desikachar's way, Om Triyambakan yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritat. Did I do that right, Elizabeth? And I apologize for making it speedy, but I thought if I didn't do it, I had to do it fast, otherwise I wasn't going to remember what it was. So just to point out, there are various ways of doing this Vedic chant.
To be clear, I have also learned it multiple ways. That's just the one that sticks with me.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah. There we have it. I mean, already I'm giving you options, and really for Vedic chants, the teachers should never give options to the students, but I've just heard it so many ways, and I guess I'm a little confused as to which way to do it myself. So I've been following Shubraji's version mostly. And there we have it. But so now, would anyone else like to chant this? Because this is an important chant, and it's a good one to chant for ourselves. And Shubraji says if we have a CD playing it, we can put it on and chant it all day long in the house, and it can be played in hospitals. And so the idea, and it should be chanted out loud. So let's all chant it, but would someone else like to share a version of this? Elizabeth, would you like to chant it?
Well, I was having a problem because I couldn't find the copy of it, so I'm concerned as to whether I might make mistakes.
Well, join the club.
So,
I think it's a good, from my perspective as the one who leads every Tuesday, it would be nice if I can make sure that everybody in this group becomes comfortable chanting it. So that means we'll have to pick a way. But it's nice also to hear voices. So Elizabeth, if you want to just try
Okay.
it on for sides, I'd love to hear it.
Om Triambakaya Jamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukami Abandhanat Mrityor Muk. I'm losing it there. Mukshi Mamritat. I've just lost it. Mrityor Mukshi Mamritat.
Yeah. We all need work on this.
Do we have it in our papers? Was that something that was sent today?
Yes.
Okay, I'll find it then.
Gayatri. Ladies, it's 7, my watch says 17 after, so it's probably like 20 after 5. Can we just leave this for another day? And I think what I'm going to do after today is stick with Shubraji's, because that's the one I like. But I'm so sorry, Lisa, I meant to start with Yadakshara and I forgot. So we will do that next week. We will cover the closing invocation. Is anyone familiar enough with it and would like to chant that? Caitlin, would you like to?
The whole thing or just Yadakshara?
Just the Yadakshara one, and then Elizabeth can close us the last part. Thank you.
Yadakshara pada brashtam matrahi nandu yad bhavet tat sarvam kshamyatam deva narayana namostute Shrimate Narayanaya Namo Namaha.
Kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmanava prakrite swabhavat karomi yadyak sakalam parasmai Narayanayiti samarpayami Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu.
Thank you, Caitlin and Elizabeth. Thank you, everyone. Thank you always, Patty. Have a wonderful week. And always requests if you like. I know Caitlin sent in a request for another Vedic chant that we'll look at maybe next week. Thank you for that suggestion. Well, have a lovely evening or day as it is.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Leslie.
Leslie, thanks, Patty.
Take care, everyone. Be protected.
Thank you,
For now.
Elizabeth. Thank you so much for reading that. Was that from your notes with our course that I just neglected to take those notes, or was it from Jessica Char?
It was, okay, first of all, I did want to straighten something out. I didn't learn this chant directly from Jessica